Hello and welcome to Frontrunner Motorsport. Now we've had recently the Sao Paulo E-Prix in 2023. Now we're going back 7 years to 2016 and the E-Prix at Long Beach. We have seen in the 2015-16 championship that Lucas Di Grassi and Sebastian Buemi have kind of won away with it. They're well clear of everyone else in the championship. It's definitely between those two. So we'll see if they can keep up their fight in America. There are no driver changes for this one, but this will be the final Formula E race for Mexican Salvador Duran. For some reason, I thought he'd be in a few more races. Like, in my mind, he was someone who was there for the first few years. In fact, he hasn't done a full season. He was in for Amin Aguri for most of the first season. He's only done like 3 races this season, and that's it. So we're saying goodbye to Duran after this one. Everyone else is exactly the same. So with that, let's jump right into the Long Beach E-Prix of 2016.
And the launch.
Perfect launch from both front row there.
Clean getaway for everyone. Trying to jockey into position. Can't go too wide through 1 and 2.
Robin Freins completely out of control there, going into on the braking zone. I think everybody's got through. I wouldn't have bet on that. Phew.
Okay, now just 41 laps to go.
Side by side by the two Renault Edams cars there. Sebastian Buemi in the lead. That's a combination. Oliver Turvey there. Da Costa already making places up.
Off of Pine Avenue. Onto Seaside Way.
Bit of blocking going on there. He's just defending, should I say, with Nick Heidfeld. And Robin Freins determined to make an early move here. Let's see if he tries something round the outside and tries to outbrake him into this hairpin. A tough move, but no, not enough for it. Got to get a good launch out of here to get down this straight and try and get him into turn 1. Great launch off the hairpin there. Watch for Freins making that move.
Good, clean first lap by the entire field.
So lap 1, everyone has survived, which is very nice to see. That first chicane looks very tight. I'm actually very surprised everyone made it through it without body parts flying in all directions. Sam Bird is leading, Di Grassi in second, and Stefan Sarazan surprisingly up in third. The Edams cars further back in the field. Let's see if everyone survives.
As many straights as this track has, energy saving is going to be key. Freins is ahead of Heidfeld. Oh, lock in the rears! And he's managed to hold it.
Nicely done. That looked like runoff for sure.
Or wall.
For that.
Nico Prost going to be all over the Mahindra car here. Nico Prost in the second of those blue and yellow Renault Edams cars. He is going to be trying to make something happen here into turn 1.
So a very close moment for Nick Heidfeld. He was hard on the brakes and that car just did not want to stop. But he was lucky to survive. Robin Freins moving up. There hasn't been too much action in the first few laps. We had a bit of contact between, I think it was D'Ambrosio and Costa, or Duval and Costa, but nothing too serious. D'Ambrosio's made a move up the field as well. He got past someone. I think it was Jean-Eric Vergne actually. He's lower down the field than I would have expected, but he seems to be working his way forward. But so far, nothing too serious has happened.
And it's all settled down here just a little bit right now. How wide it is on this part of the track. And as you go through turn 4, it narrows up in a hurry. And that has really caught a lot of the unwary out. This is a surprise. Those last 2 guys there in the field, Mike Conway, Nelson Piquet Jr. Mike Conway's won twice here in the IndyCar. Nelson Piquet, last year's winner and last year's Formula E champion. Just shows that, you know, if you stand still, you get left behind.
That's right, how much things can change.
Okay, lap 8 is about to start. Nothing's really been happening. There's not really any overtaking. I think there is some lower down the field, but up at the front, it's staying as it is. Di Grassi is looking racy behind Sam Bird. It's very close between them. Sarazan and Freins aren't being left behind, and Buemi is starting to get on the back of Abt. So it could get spicy in the next few laps, or it could just be follow the leader until the pit stops. I would suggest the latter, because Formula E seems to go a bit crazier in the second half of the race.
Giving some information out there to the engineers, but the motor in that Schaeffler car is pretty good. There's a move. There's
down the inside goes Sebastian Buemi, takes 5th place from Abt.
Textbook move. It's very good, I think he said.
18 en 3, 18 en 3.
Thought I might have been saying, leave me alone, I know what I'm doing.
So just as I say, it's got a bit quiet. We see a move for 5th place. Sebastian Buemi dive bombs Daniel Abt. It was a brilliant move. And we'll see if Sebastian Buemi can move further up the field.
Most of the drivers with less than half a full battery of remaining power before they must change to another car. What is that, a nose?
Yeah, that's
it's one of the fenders.
The front end, the end fence from the front end of the wing.
Right.
And it's blue, so it's either a Renault. It looks like a Renault one actually from the Edams team.
Blue and black. Buemi. Oh!
Oh dear.
That was spectacular.
No. I mean, the genius of Sebastian Buemi. Let's see it here.
This is in the hairpin to the approach.
He's tried to. It's just not on. I don't know where he's going to go. Just do not know where he's going to go. And we've got a pass for the lead.
A pass for the lead.
There we go.
Lucas
Lucas
Di Grassi
Grassi
takes over.
And are we going to have a safety car? Is it clear? Let's see. Look to the lead.
The bodywork's been cleared away. Except for that bit.
That's a big bit of bodywork.
I think can't stay there.
I can't imagine. If it's made there, because we don't want that hitting somebody on the head. But to my point, the genius of Sebastian Buemi, he can drive some really great laps, win races. He does tend to make the odd mistake, and that was it. There's the pass for the lead.
Right. Seaside way.
Defending. Lucas Di Grassi having none of it.
Just looped right by him.
Look at that. Sold him a dummy in the dirty part of the track, and off he goes.
Close to contact there between Bird and the back of Di Grassi's car.
Let's see, can Di Grassi stretch? Yeah, he can.
Yeah,
stretch that lead a little bit.
And meanwhile, in that accident, Sebastian Buemi was passed back by Daniel Abt, so Buemi is now 5th. Robin Friends dropping down the order. He is currently 8th.
What did I say about going crazy in the second half of the race? We're getting crazy now. It's only lap 13. Sebastian Buemi, brilliant driver, rarely makes mistakes. Somehow ends up mounting Robin Friends. Both of them have damage. It's ruined both their races. I'm very disappointed for Friends because he was driving very well. But Buemi in the chase for the championship, this could have been a very devastating moment for him. At the moment, he's still going around in 5th. And I think Friends, despite the fact his back wing is hanging off, he's still going around in like 7th. So they have both survived, but you're sort of looking at another 8 laps till the pit stops. They can't even come in and switch cars because it'll be too early. So they're sort of going around damaged. I don't know if they're going to get called in. There's bodywork on the track, so we might get a safety car or a virtual safety car. It was a very messy move. Also, at the same time, Lucas Di Grassi has got past Sam Bird for the lead and he started to pull away. He looks really quick. He's going to be very difficult to catch now. Stefan Sarazan, he's still hanging out in there in 3rd. And because the cars behind him have had a tangle, he's got loads of space behind him. I think Daniel Abt has gone back up to 4th. So this race has completely changed. And we're only about a quarter of the way through.
Okay, you have 25 laps to go.
It's not happening, is it? They're going to have to replace this rear wing, which comes off in one unit. I think it's got two quick releases, and Buemi's in 2.
Yep.
You can replace, obviously, Buemi's front wing too, but these guys now need a safety car. I mean, they could even go a lap down at this point. If they go a lap down, he's doing a car change.
He's going to get out.
Wow. This is huge for the championship.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, Lucas Di Grassi leading the race, Sebastian Buemi in the pit lane, now doing a pit stop and can't get to the end of the race. Yeah.
The maximum possible point swing at this point would be 27 points if Lucas Di Grassi was able to pick up the 2 bonus points for fast lap of the race and Sebastian Buemi were not able to score. That is not likely. That's a scenario.
They're lap down here.
Yeah.
Do you think they've told Di Grassi what's going on?
Oh, you've got to believe it. And there goes Friends.
So both Buemi and Friends have had to come in and they've both decided to swap cars rather than fix the damage. I guess they would lose just too much time. I mean, the lap's only 1 minute long, so if they're standing there in the pits doing nothing while their various damaged bits are changed, then they're going to go a lap down. So both of them have made the decision to switch cars. There's 25 laps left. That's a lot of energy they're going to have to conserve, which means they're not going to have any pace. I think their race is over. We'll see if they can get to the end, but 25 laps is touch and go.
All I can tell you is, tell you what, Di Grassi's gone at 3%. He's going to do another lap. That's a big, brave move there. But Yeah, that's to go past the pit stop when they were probably about 5% was fairly brave, I would say.
Absolutely.
There goes Jean-Eric Verne in the pits.
Out of one car into the other. Two mechanics can help make the exchange of race cars, but you cannot exit and hit the end of the pit lane before 67 seconds.
And there's a minimum speed in pit lane too, so you can't block 36. The guys. Now, Buemi's got a drive-through penalty here for that incident. There's no real defending it, unfortunately.
No.
Yeah.
So we are more than halfway through the race, and we are just about to start the pit stops. Degrassi still leads from Bird. They've left Sarrazin behind a little bit, but he's still up there in third place. He's doing well. Sebastian Buemi's got a drive-through penalty, but it doesn't really matter because he's laps down and going really slowly. And the race is getting a bit spread out, so it's going to be interesting to see if anything happens after the pit stops.
Now, these guys in the pit lane, they were the leaders, and they've stopped one lap later, and now you're seeing the guys that they were racing against going past. So
falling down the order.
It was a gamble. It didn't work. The good news for them is, though, they've got less laps to do with the battery in the second car, so they can maybe turn it up a little bit more.
And it's both Mahindra cars. Are you surprised they didn't split their strategy, perhaps? Bring in one a lap earlier?
Well, possible, but if they were comfortable with that strategy, thought it was the way to go, then maybe they were doubling down. You know, so they've gained a little bit. You know,
6th and 7th
Senna's
right
gained.
now.
Heidfeld struggled. You know, Heidfeld's kind of had a got a bit of tyre smoke there, and somebody's off down the escape road. Oh, Sam Bird. Sam Bird down. Oh man, turn 5 in the runoff there. Yeah, there you go. Turn 5. He's back going again. Any damage? Actually, not really.
It looks pretty good, actually.
So the pit stops have happened, and straight away Sam Bird has locked up and gone into a wall. He doesn't look too badly damaged, but Stefan Sarrazin has moved up into seconds, so Bird is going to have to try and fight back. Other than that, the only real change is the Mahindras went a lap longer, and it seems to have done them quite well. They've popped up in 6th and 7th, so both cars well in the points at the moment. Buemi and Freins still right down the back, and Nelson Piquet is showing in 18th as well. So I don't know if we've just lost him and no one's noticed, but I didn't see what happened to Piquet.
There's a look at throttle percentage, 100%. Speed around the outside, touching 155 miles an hour. Pretty much the top speed of these cars, but they don't quite have a straightaway long enough to get to it on this track.
Now, he's just a wee bit too far back there to make that move. And this is probably the closest battle on the track right now, because as we've talked about, Lucas Di Grassi has waved goodbye to the field, and right now, unless there's a safety car, it's going to be tough.
Meanwhile, Antonio Finis da Costa went around Jean-Eric Verne for 9th place. See the power levels coming down.
Jerome D'Ambrosio is his next target in P8. We've seen Jerome.
I'm struggling with the braking, rear locking.
You heard it there from Bruno Senna. Jerome is well known.
Dial a brake bias to the front a little bit.
That's probably what they'll do. Yeah, Jerome's a pretty aggressive defender. So car 8, Nico Prost, drive-through penalty for the minimum pit stop time. So,
Buemi has problems on track, and Prost has a pit issue. I mentioned that team has been in trouble of late.
And it's not like the Dams guys that knew. Sam Bird continues.
18.62.
So we're about 2/3 of the way through the race. Not much has been happening. Di Grassi has a massive lead out front. Sam Bird dropped back further than I thought. He's actually in 7th, chasing the Mahindras. And he is right on the back of Bruno Senna. That's pretty much where all the action is right now. Edam's race goes from bad to worse. Nico Prost has been penalised for a pit stop infringement, so he's going to get a drive-through. He's currently in 4th, so he was doing pretty well, but he's going to drop right back. That means both Mahindras are going to be right up there. I think they're going to be 4th and 5th if Sam Bird stays behind Senna, which I'm not entirely sure he will. So all in all, it's looking to be a pretty good final few laps. We've got Da Costa coming through the field as well. He's got past Verne and is up to 9th. So there are cars making moves at least.
No, nobody down the escape road.
It just slowed it down the Smoky way.
This morning there was more guys going down the escape road at the turn 1. I think it was actually more rubbered in than the track was. You see the gaps there through the field, the 4.3 seconds. You can read it all there. It's and the usable energy left.
Oh, PK.
He's hit the wall. Nelson.
Right front wheel is deranged.
And the wing's gone.
Wing's gone.
You see the wing underneath the car. This just adds, to his woe this weekend. That looks like the turn 1 exit of the chicane. Yeah, that's pit lane
just
exit.
past pit out. Yep.
Now this is going to.
I'm fine.
Surely a safety car. Yeah, you think of a safety car there, Bob.
8 laps to go.
Simona Di Silvestro putting the pressure on here.
Mr. Piquet, this is race control. Are you able?
You heard race control there having a conversation with Nelson, saying it, can you move the car?
He's already answered the question.
Oh, there you go.
Crash.
Well, guys, that was self-explanatory. Too much speed in on the way in. The rear over-rotated, as is the one with the car. And that curb was sitting there waiting. Here we go again, this great battle. Simona Di Silvestro.
Acosta walking away.
Tough day.
Okay, so PK was still in the race, but now he has hit the wall again. This has not been a great year for the reigning champion. In fact, it's been dreadful. He's out of the race. Not really surprised. I mean, I already thought he was. And Antonio Felix da Costa, sadly, after a pretty good drive, he's made a few overtaking moves. He's also retired from the race, but that does mean Simona Di Silvestro is currently in 10th place and in the points, so we'll see if she can stay there. Out front, Di Grassi still has a massive lead, and maybe if there's a safety car, it will all close up again, but I think he's got this one somehow.
I think you're going to see a passes when they happen. If they happen into turn 5, turn 1's going to be tough, but I think you'll see them into turn 5 on those when the cars are all closed up again.
Finally, the PK car is on the move.
Safety car in this lap.
Yep. So we'll get 3 qualifying laps essentially.
Safety car in this lap.
In this lap.
Safety car in this lap. So go back. Safety car in this lap.
You're heating your brakes up here. You're trying to heat your tires up. You're getting close to the car in front and getting ready not to be jumped on this restart.
The guy who has to be disappointed is Lucas Di Grassi, who had that 4.5 second lead before the safety car was deployed.
Yes.
Okay, so we did get a safety car whilst they removed Nelson Piquet's car. That's bunched the field back up, and it's going to be all go again. It's going to be interesting to see if anything happens. Of course, safety cars tend to breed safety cars.
He was so mad last week in Mexico because he did the donuts. And the thing that really upset him, apart from getting the win taken away, was that he burned off the tyres that he had to use in practice here doing his celebrity donuts. And there's Sam Bird having another go. I think we'll maybe get some decent donuts out of him today if he can hang on for this last half lap here. Oh. Sarazan right with him too. Now is Sam Bird going to try? Has he found enough to have a go passing Senna?
Final time down Southside Way. Little bit of luck up.
Fan boost there from D'Ambrosio.
D'Ambrosio, yep, back in 7th. Trying to overhaul Bird.
Not enough. Lap traffic getting involved a little bit here. And there we go.
Standing O down in the hairpin as the checkered flag waves. Sweet redemption for Lucas Di Grassi, who comes back to take the victory in Long Beach.
Okay, so nothing happened. I think the only position change was Jean-Eric Vergne somehow dropped back out of the top 10. Other than that, it was as it was before the safety car. So Lucas Di Grassi wins, and he gets a massive point swing on Sebastian Buemi, who finished 16th after all his troubles. Self-induced, mind. Stefan Sarazan, a brilliant drive to 2nd place. I'm 100% sure that's his best finish in Formula E so far. Daniel Abt completes the podium. It was a good drive from him as well. Both Mahindras in the points, both Dragons in the points. Simona Di Silvestro scored points as well in 9th. And Mike Conway sneaked his way into 10th place, a double points finish for Venturi. So, with that, let's have a look at the standings after the Long Beach E-Prix of 2016. So, in the team's standings, Edams still lead the way, but that was a disastrous race for them. Abt Audi have closed in and are only 6 points behind now. Dragon got another double points finish. Virgin got points thanks to Sam Bird. And Mahindra with their best finish of the year so far, both Heidfeld and Senna in the points. In the driver's standings, Lucas de Grassi jumps over Sebastian Buemi, but there is only 1 point in it. Sam Bird is 30 points behind de Grassi, but it could have been a lot better for him had he not made a mistake. D'Ambrosio not far behind Bird, and Stefan Sarazan amazingly jumps into the top 5. So that's it for this episode of Let's Watch Formula E Season 2. We have now finished 6 rounds. Not too many more to go. We are definitely in the back end of the championship. Who is going to win it? Will it be Sebastian Buemi or Lucas de Grassi? I mean, we already know, but let's find out how it happens and what happens on the way. So, leave your comments down below. Make sure you subscribe because you don't want to miss any more of these. And I'll be covering the 2023 Formula E Championship and pretty much all the important motorsport things and stuff that happen here and there in between. So, thank you for watching and have a good one.